Welcome back to another new episode of Round 2 Wrestling. I am Slim the Kid. Thank you for tuning in for this brand new podcast here on the 31st of May, 2022. We took a week off after broadcasting nonstop since the beginning of the year. It was much needed and, trust me, well worth the wait. We had a pay-per-view take place this weekend. AEW's Double or Nothing took place Sunday night. We have the results from that. Brand new rumors to go over, some news to talk about, some did you know facts, and that's going to be about it for this week. We have cut a couple different portions from this episode of Round 2 Wrestling simply due to the time constraints put on me by Spreaker.com and the simple fact that we took a week off, so we didn't want to mix up any old information or any old news or anything like that with the results and news and rumors that are going on for last week and the beginning parts of this week. So, without further ado, let's get Round 2 Wrestling underway, and we will start this episode how we do with every episode, and that is by dipping our toes into the rumor mill and discussing what is going on in the world of professional wrestling. Per Wrestling Observer Radio, the plans to unify the WWE Tag Team titles was a last-second decision. This is of great debate for those who are paying attention to the world of professional wrestling. Many fans and many sources were saying that this unification thing was going to take place weeks, even months ago, and WWE has tried very hard to squash these rumors and to maybe disassociate themselves with any sort of news like that. However, they went ahead and did it anyways, which tells me WWE did in fact have plans and ideas to unify the WWE Tag Team titles. My guess is they couldn't come up with a decent way to do so, i.e. a storyline or something like that. But again, this is no surprise to me, Slim the Kid here on Round 2 Wrestling. We've been saying that this was going to happen for at least a week, maybe more. Again, there are fans and people who give out this sort of information that will tell you that this was old hack and was well within the realm of possibility weeks, maybe even a month ago. Wrestling Observer Newsletter reports Kenny Omega is in fact recovering from hernia surgery and has been behind the scenes at AEW TV. This is great news for AEW fans. Kenny Omega has been missing since November of last year. It is no secret that he had a ton of injuries going into that title defense against now defunct champion Adam Page. He has taken a significant amount of time off. There is no need to rush Kenny Omega back into competition, but it does sound like we will see Kenny Omega in an AEW ring sometime this summer. Promoter and wrestler Mikey Gordon alleged he helped fake documentation for COVID-19 test results for JCW events at the height of the pandemic. Owner Brett Lauderdale declined to comment to Fightful on the advice of his lawyers. This is good news, and this is bad news. Bad news if they really did fake and plagiarize documentation for COVID-19 results. This not only puts the wrestlers and promotion at risk, but puts every single fan who attended those events also at risk. The fact that owner Brett Lauderdale has declined to comment to Fightful or any other medium at the advice of his lawyers, tells me that there is some sort of funny dealings going on here, and he does, in fact, know more than he is letting on. We here at Round 2 Wrestling will be sure to follow this as closely as possible, and if any new rumors or news pertaining to this particular event pop up, we will be sure to broadcast that to you here on this particular podcast. Pioneer Press reports WWE draft pick Gable Stevenson is considering one more year of NCAA competition and continuing his college education before joining the WWE full-time. This is interesting, an interesting rumor to go over. It wasn't too long ago, in fact, after WrestleMania, that WWE and Gable Stevenson were in fact saying, yes, I am coming to WWE and Raw in particular. Now, a month, 2 months later, he's sort of backtracking on that. Whether or not the recent firings and funny goings going on in the WWE has anything to do with his decision has yet to be seen. But it is nice to see a student athlete want to go back and just do that, complete his student portion of going to college. Sasha Banks and Naomi officially suspended indefinitely without pay, according to Wrestling Observer newsletter. Official merchandise has been pulled from the WWE shop, and WWE has disassociated itself with either one of these women wrestlers on several media platforms, including Twitter and Facebook. We will once again keep our ears to the scanner, and we'll keep our eyes glued to the computer screen, and we'll try to give you as many updates to this particular story as it becomes available. The Observer newsletter reports Colt Cabana has re-signed with AEW. No contract length has been announced. It is good to hear Colt Cabana getting an extension. He is a creative mastermind and can still work in the ring when push comes to shove. I personally, here at Round 2 Wrestling, would like to see Colt Cabana get some sort of title push, whether that be a tag team title run or maybe even possibly a TNT title run. But this guy is too talented and too funny not to promote at least a little bit and maybe move away from the whole Dark Order shtick. But like we say here on Round 2 Wrestling, only time will tell. Alright, no more rumors to go over, so let's dive right into actual news circulating in the world of professional wrestling. Jeff Jarrett has returned to WWE and is now the Senior Vice President of Live Events. This could be due in part to Stephanie McMahon taking a hiatus. It could just be that it is the right time to put Jeff Jarrett in that particular position. This was a man who did successfully run NWA TNA for a decent amount of time before passing it on to somebody else. So, nice to see Jeff Jarrett back with WWE. Let's see where he puts the product. WWE pulling out quote-unquote dirty tricks this past weekend, advertising WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view outside of AEW's Double or Nothing this past Sunday. This is some Attitude Era BS from WWE, and this only shows me that WWE is really a piece of shit promotion organization that feels like it has to attack anything and everything that is a threat to it, or in fact, WWE is threatened by AEW's presence. It'll be nice to see what goes on, and trust me, competition is healthy for both WWE and AEW. WWE forced to move July pay-per-view Money in the Bank from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas to a smaller venue, the MGM Garden Arena, due to poor ticket sales. Athena, aka Ember Moon, made her AEW debut at Double or Nothing this past Sunday. This is excellent to see. The women's division needs as much help as possible, and getting more and more women into that division can only make things better. AEW planning on returning to Arthur Ashe Stadium in September for its Grand Slam special. Tony Khan has stated that he wants to make this the biggest TV event annually for AEW. Last year's Grand Slam special was a huge success, due in part to CM Punk's debut, and I can only hope and wish that they make this year's just as great. My guess is this particular event will take place sometime after the next pay-per-view, which also takes place in September. All right, no more news. Let's move right on to the Did You Know? Did you know are little facts and pieces of information about professional wrestling that are quirky. Maybe you didn't know it or just needed some clarification onto a rumor or something that you heard. Did you know Jimmy Wang Yang has wrestled for WCW, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, MLW, and various other independent organizations and has never won a championship in his entire 23-year career? Did you know Jim Duggan is the only undefeated WCW World Television Champion? He held this title from November 1999 until the title was deactivated in February 2000. Did you know Rhea Ripley is the only woman to hold NXT UK, NXT, Raw, and Women's World Tag Team titles? She is also the first Australian woman to win a singles title in WWE. Did you know East Coast Wrestling Association, based in Newark, Delaware, is the longest-running independent promotion in the USA, starting in 1967? Did you know Hulk Hogan was pinned 2 times at WrestleMania, once at WrestleMania 6 by the Ultimate Warrior, and once again at WrestleMania 18 by The Rock? Both these pinfalls happened at the Toronto Skydome. Did you know Jeff Hardy was the only entrant in AEW's Owen Hart Cup tournament that actually competed against Owen, and this took place in WWF back in 1995. All right, we have the results to go over from this weekend, and that will conclude our show. Here we go. TBS champion Jade Cargill defeated Anna Jay this past Sunday to retain the TBS championship. Adam Cole defeated Samoa Joe in the finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament to win the men's portion of said tournament. Britt Baker DMD defeated Ruby Soho in the women's finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament and also was the women's winner of said tournament. AEW Women's Champion Thunder Rosa defeated Serena Deeb to retain the title this past Sunday. AEW Tag Team Champions Jurassic Express defeated Team Taz and the team of Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland to retain the AEW Tag Team titles. CM Punk defeated AEW World Champion Adam Page to become the new AEW Heavyweight Champion. Rich Swann defeated Matt Cardona to win the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship, and Matt Cardona in fact suffered an injury in that championship bout that will require some time off and or some surgery. All right, no more to talk about. That is the end of Round 2 Wrestling. I am Slim the Kid, and I personally want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Round 2 Wrestling. I also want to take the time to promote Ultimate Championship Wrestling out of Saginaw, Michigan. This company, this promotion has given me a foot in the door when it comes to professional wrestling, and I am once again refereeing about as full-time as I possibly can. If you are in the greater Saginaw or Bay Area, be sure to check out Ultimate Championship Wrestling and their bi-monthly pay-per-views at the UCW Arena. All right, once again, I am Slim the Kid. Thank you for tuning in to Round 2 Wrestling, and we hope to see from you or hear from you next week. Round 2 Wrestling is brought to you by Slim the Kid and Spreaker.com.